Buenos días, muchachos, niños y niñas. Today is April 3rd, 2020. I have a nice lesson for you today. It's very short, and it's just a review from yesterday's lesson. You might be getting a basic idea about what our schedule is going to look like. Yesterday was the first day for the vocabulary. Today we do a review of the vocabulary we learned yesterday. And then the rest of the week, or next week, I should say, we're going to do vocabulary, the second part of the vocabulary with a review. And you're going to have your first exit ticket on Tuesday. Okay? So let's take a look at a calendar really quickly. So Monday, the 6th, we're going to continue with the vocabulary from chapter 1. So we're going to have vocabulary part 2. On the 7th is going to be the review for this vocabulary. And this Tuesday, on the 7th, I'm going to give you your exit ticket, your very first one, okay? And I'll give you the heads up next week. On Wednesday, we're going to move over to the grammar section of the textbook. We'll do a grammar review. On Friday the 10th, we'll have another part of grammar. And we should be looking at taking your first chapter test probably around the 15th, okay? I'm going to try to come up with a actual schedule so you guys can see it. I'm still trying to plan it out, see how it's going to work this trimester. But as of right now, this is what you can expect, okay? Next week is going to be the chapter. We're going to continue with the chapter. And then the week of the 13th, we're going to wrap up the chapter and we'll have our first summative assessment sometime around the end of the week of the 13th, okay? I will give you more details. So no, don't worry about it now. Just please make sure you're watching these videos and you're practicing at home and you're reviewing your vocabulary. All right? So let's practice saying the date in Spanish. The 3rd of April. So we're going to start with the number 3. Ready? Tres de abril, año 2020. I want to see if you can try it by yourself. Go ahead and try doing the entire date by yourself. I know I can't hear you, but just try to do it all by yourself, and then I'll repeat it and see if it sounds kind of like how I say it. Ready, go. All right. It should sound something like Tres de abril, año 2020. Don't forget that because we're writing the date in Spanish, the day comes before the month. Okay? All right, our objectives for today is students will be able to review vocabulary from chapter 1. So yesterday we reviewed descriptive words, and today we're just going to review them. I'm going to present the material in a different way. It's a little bit more interactive, you'll see. And then I have a short activity for you to do at the end, all right? Do now. Describe the following picture using 3 Spanish descriptive words. So I'm about to show you a picture of 2 characters. One of them is a character, another one is a real life person. You may have seen them on TV, and I want to see if you can describe the 2 using 3 descriptive words, okay? So let's take a look at our characters. We have Shaq. This is Shaq. He used to be a basketball player, and now he does commercials. And then you might know this little cartoon character from the commercials, the insurance commercials. But let's describe this guy, Shaq. I told you he was a basketball player, so I should give you a little clue. Go ahead and use 3 Spanish descriptive words to describe our friend Shaq. Ready? Pausing point. All right. So I think 3 words that I would use to describe Shaq, they might be the same ones you used. He's definitely alto. Definitely. Alto, A-L-T-O, alto, means tall, if you remember. So he's very tall. Muy alto. Él es muy alto. Okay? And he's also, I mean, if you look over here, he's kind of funny, right? So, what two words could I use if I wanted to describe him as being funny? Well, the two, and maybe this was one of the ones you picked to describe him, was gracioso and cómico, because he's funny. They both mean funny. And remember, they have to end in O because he's a what? He's a male. All right. So we have gracioso, alto, cómico, and let's throw another one in there because cómico and gracioso, remember, those two mean funny, and alto means tall. So let's give him another one. What other one could we give him? He seems like a nice guy, right? So if he's nice, he's friendly. You guys remember the word for that one? Simpático. Yes, simpático. Okay? Simpático. Now, what about him? Let's describe the little guy too. Why not? Ready? He's basically the opposite of as height wise. So, how do you say somebody is short? Él es bajo. Good. Él es bajo. Él es. I gotta say, if you ever watch the commercials, he doesn't really joke around too much. He's kind of serious, right? So, what's the word for serious in Spanish? Do you guys remember? Serio, serio. Good. Él es serio. Él es bajo. Él es simpático. I don't think he's unfriendly. And then Shaq, él es alto. Él es gracioso. Él es cómico y simpático. Very good. All right. Let's get back to our review. It says, describe the following picture. We just did that. And now the directions. Two things. It's only two things. I want you to watch today's lesson because we're going to review the vocabulary from yesterday. And then you have two options for what to do after. Now, I would like you to you have an option here. Either you can practice 10 to 15 minutes using the new vocabulary at home, the same vocabulary we did yesterday. We're going to review it today, and then you can practice with somebody for 10 to 15 minutes. Remember, you have multiple options, guys. You can literally call any of your friends that are taking the class. If you have friends that took the class in the previous semesters, you can totally call them 10 to 15 minutes. All right? Just to do a little review. You throw a couple words in there in the middle of your conversation. They might remember some of them. All right? You'd be surprised. I hope they remember. And or you can just use your like practice with your family. Why not? I'm sure they would be interested to learning a couple of words too. I mean, I'm hoping that when you guys get a little older, you'll have opportunities to use the language a little bit more. But just remember that your parents, your grown-ups, grandparents, they also interact with people that might speak Spanish. I know a lot of my uh, students from the last couple trimesters have told me that their parents work with Spanish speakers and they know a couple of words. So this is a cool experience right now because even though yes we're all stuck at home or whatever, you have these opportunities to practice, so take advantage. Okay, so practice 10 to 15 minutes. I did attach here a crossword puzzle for you guys. Okay, so if you want to do the crossword puzzle, you can do that as well. This isn't I'm not collecting it. Okay, this is for you to practice, and this is what it looks like. Okay, if you see that there's words in there that we haven't talked about, don't worry about them, okay? Only the ones that are on the vocabulary list you're responsible for. But the majority of words are in there, okay? If you have any questions, please reach out in my email, okay? All right, let's keep going. So, we did the picture. I can exit out of that. Now, this is what we're going to come back to. This is the activity for this part of the vocabulary. So, as you can see, we did these 2 pages yesterday, and hopefully you guys were able to practice the 3 question words: quién, cómo, de dónde, because we're going to come back to those today. And we're going to do some of the activities here, but I'm going to start by showing you this. Now it went away. Oh, no, here it is. This is the interactive vocabulary version of the textbook. So it says vocabulario uno, vocabulary one, como es, how is. All right. So how are these people? All right. Essential question. ¿Qué es un amigo o una amiga bueno o buena? What is a good friend, boy or girl? Now notice here in Spanish, things are always have a subject, always have a gender. Notice, so that's why you see these A's in parentheses, because if it's without the A, you're talking, and with an O, you're talking about a male. With the A, you're talking about a female. So that's why they put these little parentheses with the A's, okay? All right. So, ¿cómo es? Now, I've tried using the little speaker things. I'm going to click on them anyways, but you guys might not be able to hear them. So I'm just going to repeat anyways, all right? I'm going to review in the video once I process it, upload it, see if you guys can actually hear the buttons. Otherwise, I'm just going to have to say them, okay? So, ¿cómo es? Volume here we go. ¿Cómo es? Now, ¿cómo? There are 3 question words you need to know. All right. Como means how. Okay. How. We're describing people. Como. Como es. So, como es el muchacho? So, this is the boy, right? El muchacho. ¿Cómo es el muchacho? Do you guys think he's guapo o feo? Well, let's see what he looks like if he's guapo. Now, what is guapo? Good looking. So, let's see. Ah, okay. So, all it took was some nice dressing here. Guapo. So now he looks guapo. Guapo. I know guapo is next to it's also with bonito. All right. You have to remember that usually, and this is something that if you notice here, when we're gonna talk about the girl, they don't use the word bonito for the guy. This could be true in English too. Think about it. You can call a girl pretty and good looking, right? If you can call a guy good looking, and you can also call a guy pretty, but it's not very common, is it? Like if a guy walked in and he looks nice, you wouldn't really say that he looks pretty. It's not common. I guess you can. So that's why they didn't include bonito here. All right. All right. So let's continue. So we have el muchacho, él es guapo. Okay. And let's see what he would look like if he was feo. Now, what is feo? All right. Let's see. Let's see what he looks like. Ooh, okay. And feo, as you can see from the mask, is trying to show that he's ugly. All right. Now let's see. ¿Cómo es la muchacha? La muchacha is the girl. Now, here you see she can be guapa or bonita. And there she is. All right. La muchacha guapa, la muchacha bonita. ¿Cómo es ella? Bonita y guapa. Very good. Now let's see what she would look like if she was fea. And what is fea again? Ugly. All right, let's see. Oh, okay. The mask. I know. All right. Let's keep going. ¿Cómo es? How are they? How is? Now, here we have the boy, all right, el muchacho. And we have a couple of and la muchacha as well. And we have some ways to describe them. Now, I want you to look at the words and see if you remember what these things are describing. Is it going to describe what part of their appearance is it going to describe? Pausing point. All right. If you remember from yesterday's lesson, one way to describe people is by their hair color. And I also threw in my personal thing that I wanted to share with you, that you can also describe people by their skin color when you talk about these 2 words right here, moreno and morena. All right. And again, so I want to emphasize, if you use the words moreno and morena, there's nothing wrong with that. It's actually a nice way to describe people. All right. You're not being insulting at all. All right. Here we go. So we have, let's see what he looks like with with his hair colored rubio. What is rubio? Blonde. Let's see. Oh, okay. Rubio. And her, let's see, Rubia. Rubia. Let's see what she looks like. Oh, not too bad. He looks weird, but not so much her. All right, let's see. Pelirrojo. What is pelirrojo? Red hair. Peli means hair, and then rojo. All right, let's see. I think it's better than the blonde. Mejor que el rubio, ¿no es cierto? Sí. Y pelirroja. A ver, pelirroja. Now let's see moreno. Con el pelo moreno. ¿Cómo es él? Con el pelo moreno. Let's see. Much better. And ¿cómo es ella? Con el pelo moreno. Now, you might have caught on that I said, ¿cómo es ella? And then I said pelo moreno because I'm describing the pelo, and pelo is masculine. All right? ¿Cómo es ella? Morena. ¿Cómo es el pelo? Moreno. You get it? If I'm describing her, morena, because she's feminine. But hair happens to be a masculine word. All right. ¿Cómo es ella morena? A ver. Nice. Very good. Next one. ¿Cómo es? And what is como? Como. This word right there. Super important for you to know. What's como? How. All right. Descriptive words. How. I mean, question words. How. All right. Now, here are the descriptive words. Now, let's see what the muchacho would look like if he was alto. And we describe Shaq as being alto. So let's see. Alto. Boom. Extra long legs. Bajo. Like the general. Short. Now, let's listen to them. And now let's see how she looks like. Alta. And baja. All right, so repeat. Alto, bajo, alta, baja. Muy bien, muchachos. Okay. ¿Cómo es? And what's como? How? Good. Don't forget it. Seem. All right, so these might be the harder ones here, but you might be able to remember them because they're the ones with the little accent on top. All right. And they're opposites of one another. So, what is simpático? Do you guys remember? If you don't remember these, by the way, you can always pause the video. I know I've mentioned this a bunch of times. So, simpático. Simpático means we described Shaq as being simpático, and the general too. Friendly. All right, let's see what he looks like friendly. Oh, he's saying hello. Okay. Simpático. Now let's see if he was unfriendly. Oh, yeah, cold shoulder. Antipático. And she is friendly. She's giving him a wave, and now she's gonna hate him forever. Antipática. All right, now antipática, what does it mean? Unfriendly. What's simpático or simpática mean? Friendly or kind, okay? All right, next one. ¿Cómo es? Él es serio. What's serio? Might be the easiest one out of all the vocab words because it's a cognate. And if you remember, cognates look and sound very similar to the English words, okay? Or to another language. Here we go. Serio, he is. Serio, él es serio, serious. And there she is, seria. Now, here are the two words we described Shaq, cómico and gracioso. What do those two mean? Funny. Let's see. Okay. And we have cómica, graciosa. Okay. Now, ¿quién es? ¿Quién es? Now, we changed the question. Before, it was the word como. Como means how. What's quién? Quién means who. Okay? So, who is this and who is that? ¿Quién es? ¿Quién es él? ¿Quién es ella? Ajá. So, él es Pablo. Él es un amigo muy bueno de Emilia. Do you think you can translate this whole thing, guys? Challenge yourself. Try to translate the whole thing. See if you can tell me what it means. Pausing point. Let's translate it. Ready? This is Pablo, or it's Pablo. All right. He is a friend. Very good. Now we got to switch it. We got to flip it. All right. Because in Spanish, the adjective and the noun are reversed. All right. We'll get to that when we get to the grammar. But so far, it's Pablo. He is a good friend. He's a very good friend. Okay. Of Emilia. Same sentence, but notice how a lot of the words have changed to feminine. Notice how una means a, like a girl. I mean, a friend, all right? A friend, a friend, okay? But notice, when we're talking about the guy, un amigo, bueno. Now look at the girl. Una amiga buena. Why? Because these are adjectives and other parts of grammar that notice how we have to change them to feminine. All right. We'll get to this when we get to the grammar, but I just wanted to show it to you right now. I'm trying to give you basically a preview. And that was it. All right. Now there's a little crossword puzzle. I have my own that I wanted you to do. So let's see. We can do a couple of activities from this one, not all of them. So don't worry. All right. Here we go. It says you're going to listen to each of these statements I'm going to say. Now for this one, I'm going to read to you the statement that I want, and you have to choose which one it belongs to, okay? So, let's see. Let's do activity number 1. If I said to you, él es cómico, who am I talking about? Él es cómico. B would be the correct answer, all right? Now, if you want to answer before I tell you the answer, just pause it as soon as I ask the question, okay? Here we go. Number 2. Ella es alta. Ella es alta. It would be C, okay? She is tall, alta. And notice how I said alta. So that should give you a clue that it's either her, or yes, this is a girl, her. If I said alto, it would have been a boy, all right? So try to listen to those clues as well because they give you the gender. Ready? Number 3. Él es pelirrojo. Él es pelirrojo. That would be this guy right here. He's got the red hair. Él es pelirrojo. Number 4. Ella es seria. Ella es seria. You might have heard that I said ella. Ella means she, so it's either her, or her. Which one of these three is seria? This lady right over here. Él es rubio. Él es rubio. It's got to be this guy, right? Él, he, and rubio, blonde. And ella es baja. Last but not least, the short one, right? Baja. Okay. Now look at the words below and match the opposites or antonyms. So if I said guapo, what is the opposite of guapo? The opposite of guapo is feo. Guapo means good looking, feo means ugly. What about simpático? Antipático, right? Opposites, okay? And this one should be easy to find out the opposite because simpático and then the opposite antipático, anti. Now we have malo. Malo is bad. So what's the opposite of malo? Bueno, muy bien. Bueno, good. Good and bad. Cómico. Cómico is funny. Serio would be the opposite, all right? Serious. And then we have alto. What's the opposite of alto? Bajo. Very good. Number 3, look at the photo of Elena and answer the questions about her. Now, I'm going to do this exercise because this one has to do with the question words, okay? Now you're going to get 2 question words. Notice here, ¿quién means who? ¿Cómo means how? So let's just practice a little bit with this one. Ready? It says, Elena es de Guatemala. She's from Guatemala. Es una muchacha simpática. So she's a friendly girl. And then they ask us, right? Like, no? So look at the photo of her. All right, there she is. And, ¿quién es la muchacha? ¿Elena o Cecilia? ¿Quién es la muchacha, guys? ¿Elena o Cecilia? Obviously, it's got to be Elena because I literally just read it to you. So hopefully you took that as a joke. All right. ¿Cómo es la muchacha? How is she? ¿Pelirroja o morena? What do you think? Definitely morena. All right. Because if she was pelirroja, remember we're describing the hair color right now. Pelirroja, she would have red color hair, kind of like this girl. And also, we can say that she's morena. All right. She's got darker skin. It doesn't have to necessarily be super dark skin, by the way. It can be just a little darker than normal. All right. I shouldn't say that. No, just like like if you guys have ever seen me, all right, I'm moreno, technically, morenito. Okay. Now let's see. ¿Cómo es la muchacha? ¿Es fea o guapa? What do you guys think? Wow, this one's opinion. So I'm gonna let you answer this one. It's really up to you. But let's be real. Is she fea or bonita? It's really up to you. Your opinion. Okay? Oh, sorry. Fea o guapa. ¿Cómo es la muchacha? ¿Graciosa o seria? I'm gonna have to say graciosa because she's got a nice little smile going on. All right, she doesn't seem like mean or anything. ¿Cómo es la muchacha? ¿Simpática o antipática? Could be a smirk, but I think she's simpática. She seems friendly a little bit, right? And let's see. Now, Eduardo here is also from Guatemala. Okay. And they say Eduardo is de Antigua, the city. Él es un muchacho guapo, ¿no? So he's a good looking boy, right? That's what they say. Look at the photo of Eduardo, describe him. You may wish to choose the appropriate words from the word bank and use your description. So just pause it, describe him, okay? And then we'll go on from there. Okay, let's take a look at the other side. What do we have here? We're not going to do all the activities. So this one, talk about a friend. We talked about Shaq and we talked about the general. So we're going to skip that one. 6, work in groups, draw several faces. We're going to skip that one, but let's do this one. This one's important because this one has 3 very important questions that I want you to make sure you know. And I already went over 2 of them. ¿Quién is who? ¿Cómo is how? And the third one is ¿de dónde? We're not doing nationalities. So if you ever see this, like number 4, nacionalidad, don't worry about it. That just means what nationality. But I'm not going to go over that because that's too much. It's too much information. All right. So we're just going to stick to these 3 question words: quién, cómo, de dónde. All right. This is probably the most important part of this lesson because most of it has been review. But just keep in mind, this will be on exit tickets. ¿Quién, cómo, de dónde? All right. So let's answer it. We're going to be talking about Antonia. She es una joven de Cusco, Peru. So she's a young girl from Cusco, Peru. All right. And it says, ¿Quién es la muchacha? Go ahead and answer that. ¿Quién es la muchacha? Let's turn that question around. ¿Quién es la muchacha? La muchacha es Antonia. Because they're asking us, who is the girl? Is it Antonia? So you can say, sí, Antonia es la muchacha, or you can say, sí, la muchacha es Antonia. All right, you're just turning the question around. ¿Cómo es Antonia? So here you have to Go ahead, answer the question first, and then I'll go over it. ¿Cómo es Antonia? So, how is she? What words do you use to describe her? I'm going to assume because she's from Peru that she is Baja. She's short. Okay. But I'm also going to assume, because of my experience with the culture, that because she's from Peru, she's super, super simpática, friendly, and short. That's just my experience with people from Peru. Okay. Super sweet people. Now, ¿de dónde es Antonia? And this one, you can just say Peru. Okay. If you want to say it in Spanish, Peru. Okay. Ella es de Perú. Now, here, let's turn those questions around. ¿Cómo es Antonia? Antonia es simpática. Antonia es baja. Antonia is, no, graciosa. She could be. ¿De dónde es Antonia? Antonia es de Perú. Okay. And then the last one we're not going to do. These are to form questions. Okay, we literally just did that, and this is a game. So we're going to skip those two. So what I would like you to do now is, if you want to go over what we just did, definitely go back to the video and review it again. I want you to either practice for 10 to 15 minutes using this new vocabulary, or do the crossword puzzle, or do both. Doesn't matter to me. As long as you're practicing, okay? It's really up to you. This class will definitely be, a lot of it will be your own responsibility, okay? You're responsible for knowing the words. Obviously, if you're having trouble, whatever, like, reach out. Definitely, I'll help you whichever way I can. I try to prepare everybody as much as I can for the exit tickets. As long as you know your stuff, you should be good to go. All right. All right. So I hope you guys have a good day. I hope you have a great weekend, un buen fin de semana, que tengan buen día. Y nada, eso es todo. Have a great day, muchachos. Adiós. Hasta luego.